the greatest damn show on YouTube. To the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Alright, we back. Are we back, chat? Are we back after a day off, chat? They said Trump took a day off and everybody thought he wasn't here no more. I take a day off, don't nobody check on me. What's the damn problem, man? Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We here with a daytime episode, man. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna do it, didn't you? Lala, where you at, Lala? Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? What we doing this morning, chat? Double tap the screen and shut a live out, man. They said Trump was missing, and now he fundraising to get into heaven, man. They said the Cali schools are flying Israeli flags, and we got JD Vance is ready to step in if anything happens. We got an action-packed episode, chat. We got an action-packed episode, but I ain't gonna hold y'all up, because I know, man, y'all ain't heard that baby goat in a minute, because I'm the only one that got it. You got to go to the playbacks. You got to go to the old lives if you want to hear that baby goat, because I'm the only one that got it, man. Where that baby go at, man?
I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say they ain't got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Georgia. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spread. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke, I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie-talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Talk to blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 = 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, take a check, a swoop, swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on 'em and they tryna get them gone. What you call it, J Wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest product, it's pink, you know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I feel like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk about them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side. I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London. And some of you like be hustle. Yeah, she me look.
Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? Cypher cracking the live off with a super chat already, man. Let's go. I know I took a day off. Stacy, what it do, Stacy? I'm glad you made it in this morning. Big Niche, what you doing, girl? Lala, I know you got them plain lays for us, man. We got an action-packed episode, chat. What was I finna tell y'all? Oh, y'all see, my chair back here, you know what I'm saying? It's tattered and shit, man. I gotta do some, what do they call it? Upholstering. Some re-upholstering, chat. That's what I need to do, man. I need to take one of these here Zybags and attach it right here. Because y'all know how when y'all normally come in here, y'all see my chair with the plug. It just be one of these Zybags. See, these Zybags, you can use these motherfuckers for anything. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, it's the morning show. I'm not supposed to be cussing. You can use these Zybags for anything. You know what I'm saying? I just so happen to put mine right here, you know what I'm saying, over this. So it's the plug sack chair. Y'all thought it was custom. It was custom. I just customized it. You know what I'm saying? It was custom. I just customized it. My kids was in here on my dang chair and they got the snatching stuff off. You know, now I got to redo it. You know what I'm saying? I got to redo it. Luckily, we got some Zybags in to be able to redo it. But, what's up, XX? What's up, XX? Yeah, Chad, we got an action-packed episode. Let me give y'all the rundown on what we're gonna talk about today. We got a church in Mexico. They're claiming to sell land in heaven for $100 per square meter. And I brought that topic up because Trump was missing for, a day or two. They said he took a day off. A lot of people are still running with these theories out that that's not the real Trump. These are old videos. I don't know. We're here to talk about it this morning. But when he did come back, they said that he sent out a fundraising campaign. They're trying to secure the 2026 election and the 2028 election, so he's still fundraising. He is still fundraising, and in that message it said that he wants to make it to heaven. He think that God saved his life when he took that clip to the ear to make America great again. So off of that question, that's where I got the Spanish Portuguese Christian church allegedly selling plots of land in heaven for 100 a square meter. But we're gonna get to that later on in the show. We also got Trump putting some people on blast for screwing up the White House lawn. Something about I guess they were getting some new stuff installed. Also, Elon just retweeted a guy. Some Pakistani brothers. This is in Europe. 3 guys, they're accused of, doing some very bad things to some children. That's going viral right now. I'm supposed to have a caller call in from the UK today. I'm supposed to have a caller call in from the UK, boots on the ground. Gonna let us know from a working man's perspective. I just reached out to him. He wanted to come on last night, but the time kind of messed up. Our times didn't mesh. I normally go live on the nighttime, and he said at the time I was trying to get him on, it would have been like 4 in the morning where he was at, and he had to get ready for work. So hopefully we can get him on the line today to give us some boots on the ground information over there, what's going on in the UK. Also, we got Leticia James. They're saying Leticia James is cooked. They're saying that I don't know if it was her niece or her daughter. Some reports are saying her niece, some reports are saying her daughter. But basically they're trying to say that Miss Leticia co-signed for a house for her daughter or niece, and her daughter or niece just so happened to be absconding. So they're saying that she helped her abscond on top of committing mortgage fraud. So we'll break that down, see what's going on there. We also have some more stuff from the UK that I was going to bring up and ask the caller. But one of the main topics for today is what y'all see on the screen above me. That's Beverly Hills Unified School District. They have voted on a school board motion 3-2 to fly Israeli flags on all campuses. They voted at a school board meeting 3-2 to fly Israeli flags on all campuses. A lot of Americans are outraged. A lot of Americans they're pissed off. I don't know another way to say it. They're mad. They're fuming mad. I'm talking about steam coming out of their ears, nose, red hot chili pepper. They are mad. We also have Scott Pressler is blasting out a warning to all MAGA Republicans, saying that the Republicans are going to lose everything unless they go out and vote early and vote mail-in. But we also have Trump supposed to sign an executive order to end all of the voter fraud. I believe there are 4 points that he wants to hit on to end voter fraud, and he's signaling that he's going to put an executive order out to get that together. We also got 5 non-citizens. I know it's a lot of topics, man, but I didn't go live yesterday. So we also got 5 non-citizens caught using hidden cameras and earpieces to cheat on commercial driver exams. So y'all know we seen a guy that turned this tractor trailer on the official use only turnaround for the police officers and whatnot that took the lives of those 3 people. Well, now they're saying that they're using checkpoints to, see if people can read and write in English, things of those sorts. But we have the exams right here. We're wondering how these people are passing these exams. Well, 5 non-citizens just got caught cheating. They were using hidden cameras and earpieces to cheat. They were using hidden cameras and earpieces. So everybody's wondering, how are they getting these commercial driver's license? How is it going on? They had to take a test. Well, we just figured it out. They're using hidden cameras and earpieces to cheat. And we're going to talk about that as well, man. We do got the church leader home that was raided too. Church leader home. Oh, and I don't know when this is from, but they're talking about Dr. Stanley Plotkin admitted under oath that they use unborn babies for tissue extraction. You know what I'm saying? Like for tissue extraction. So like when the babies are giving up or whatever, or finna be, you know, taken away from here, like the baby's already alive. You know, like they're not using unalived babies. And he testified under oath that, hey, we have to use live babies because the viruses can't grow on dead organ tissue. So we have to use live babies. And we're going to get into that as well. We're going to get into that as well. I'm trying to get my phone on Do Not Disturb. I was trying to get my phone on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, we got an action-packed episode, chat. An action-packed episode. What do y'all want to get into first? Let me tell my kids to calm down right quick. So yeah, it's a lot going on, man. That's a lot going on. Stacy says, fly all the flags then. BLM, LGBTQ, Palestine. Fly them all. Okay, so we'll start with the flag topic. Chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out for me. We are about 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I appreciate everyone's continued support over this last year, man. Y'all have been showing up and showing out for me a lot lately, man. I do very much appreciate that, man. I do very much appreciate that. All right, so here it is right here. This is what y'all are seeing right there is the Beverly Hills School Board. It says Beverly Hills School Board passes a motion to fly Israeli flags on all campuses. The Beverly Hills Unified School District's Board of Education voted Tuesday 3-2 in favor of flying the Israeli flags at all school campuses in the district, despite criticism since the IDF is carrying out a genocide in Gaza. So this is credit to trends in the news. But on Twitter, just to give y'all some information on Twitter, I believe there were about 6 people on that board. I'm not knowing why the vote was only 3-2 if they're saying 6 people were on the board. Guess only 5 voted, but they're saying that 5 out of the 6 were all Jewish. They're saying 5 of the 6 were Jewish that voted for this. It says the Los Angeles Times reported the proposal was part of a resolution to combat anti-Semitism and recognize Jewish Heritage Month in May. The paper wrote the resolution has sparked debate over whether it is appropriate to dedicate so much time and so many resources to recognizing a specific ethnic and religious group in a public school setting. The Council on American Islamic Relations in Los Angeles appealed to the public to urge the board to reject the proposal. The group said the proposal proposal also calls for the adoption of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism, which falsely conflates criticism of the state of Israel with anti-Semitism. The definition is widely considered problematic and has been rejected by more than 100 international bodies and civil society organizations, including Israeli groups. Hassam Aloush, executive director of CAIR, C-A-I-R, Los Angeles, told My News LA, this proposal conflates Jewish faith and identity with the political actions of a foreign government and undermines the inclusive and respectful environment that all public schools are meant to foster for students, regardless of their background. It is deeply insensitive and distressing to Palestinian students who have lost countless family members to Israel's violent military campaign and the man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza. So they're saying the school board is causing division and hatred. They're saying the school board is causing division and hatred, chat. How do y'all feel about it, man? How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like the school board is causing division and hatred? Let me pull up the actual tweet so I can read y'all some of the things that they're saying on that actual post. Pull it up. Somebody says, network radio says, what the actual F is going on in this country? What the actual F? That post got about 5,000 hearts. Voice of the Rabbit says, flying an Israeli flag at an American school crosses every line and spreads poisonous ideas that American Jays are tied to Israeli over their own country. Nothing could be more anti-Semitic. I think that's a spam post because I see a lot of people posting it. I think that might be bots right there posting that one. It might not be though. It might just be a lot of people copying and pasting it. It says the only flags that should be flown on any public property are those of the United States and the state in which it is located. Flying any other flag, Israeli or pride for that matter, should be banned. So that post got a lot of appreciate that, Koba. That post got a lot of traction as well. They're saying the only flags that should be flown are the American flag and your state flag. How do y'all feel about that, chat? Press 1 if you agree with that. Press 2 if you do not agree with that. The only flags that should be flown on state property. Hold on. Let me see exactly what the post said. The only flags that should be flown on any public property are those of the United States and the state in which it is located. Do y'all agree with that, chat? Thank you, Lala. Thank you, Lala, for the flower, Lala. Thank you. So how do y'all feel about that? At public locations, should we only fly our state flag and the American flag in public locations? Not in your yard, not private property. I'm talking about public property. You said no, because that's racism against flags. That is racism against flags. Okay. Some people said no. Okay. Let's get back into it. Let's see what others are saying. Somebody said what country do we live in now? This is absolutely unacceptable, unbelievable. This is asking for trouble. They named the school board. They named out everybody on the school board. I'm not gonna read their names. You can go to this Twitter post if you want to find that out. But yeah, I'm not gonna read their name. They said there were 6 people on that school board. It's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Chat, I'm not gonna lie. That is crazy. How are y'all feeling about it, chat? Press 1 if you think it is wrong. Press 2 if you think it is right. This school board in Beverly Hills. This is a school board in Beverly Hills. Money, wait, what it do, Money? We got a school board in Beverly Hills, Money, that just voted 3-2 to fly Israeli flags on all campuses. On all campuses. For a whole month. It's not going to happen immediately and be ongoing, but they will fly the flags on all campuses. Blake says, I'll fly any effing flag I want, and what the F are you a-holes going to do about it? Blake, I believe that we're talking about a public setting. I don't think they're talking about individuals. I think they're talking about like an establishment, like a school. Like, should the schools be able to fly any flag they want? We know as a private citizen, as a citizen on your private property, you should be able to do what the hell you want to do. We're talking about public property. We're talking about government buildings, school buildings. We're talking about these sorts of things where they have to have a vote. See, these people didn't just walk up in there with their flags. They didn't just waltz in there with their flag. They had a school board vote that went through 3-2 to fly. So this is approved. This is approved. You know what I'm saying? This is different than you just saying, hey, I'm going to do what I want. You know, this is actually approved. So I'm asking y'all again with context. Now that y'all have context, is it right or is it wrong? Courtrooms. What if it was a courtroom? It's crazy, man. Um, this is wild, man. I'm gonna keep it real. This is wild. We got a caller.
From Stacy Michelle.
What's going on, Stacy? How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Plug?
I'm doing well. Tell the chat where you're calling from, what region you're calling from, what part of the United States.
I'm actually calling from Georgia.
Okay, Stacy out of Georgia. How you feeling about this topic right here, Stacy?
So, okay, just to clarify, can you tell me, so they're only flying the flag for 1 month to celebrate Jewish History Month? Oh, is that what it is?
Correct. They're flying it for 1 month. It's gonna be in May. They're saying that it is here it goes right here. Voted Tuesday 3-2 in favor of flying the Israeli flag at all schools in the district despite criticism. The proposal was part of a resolution to combat anti-Semitism and recognize Jewish Heritage Month. So that's what it's for, Jewish Heritage Month.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. It's just like, so when Black Lives Matter, we wanted the flag flown, for Black History Month. We want, the flag flown for LGBTQ Pride Month. I have no problem with that. Now, I thought it was like ever.
Speak up a little bit for us, Stacey, if you can.
Okay.
You sound far back.
Okay, hold on. Let me take it off of speaker. Is this better?
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot better.
So I thought it was forever, but if it's just to celebrate the month, the Heritage Month, I have no problem with that because, like, for instance, my job, they fly the flag for Black History Month. They fly the flags for Pride Month. They fly, you know what I'm saying? So if it's just a month thing to celebrate that heritage, we should just relax.
Okay. Stacy feels we should relax. Okay, I'm gonna take a different stance, Stacy. I'm gonna say that none of that should be in the schools. Now, when it comes to a corporation, a company, I would think it's a little bit different. But as far as the schools, I'm just gonna keep it real. We did have Black History Month, but we didn't have no Black History flags. I've never seen a Black History flag in the school. I'm just gonna be real.
So is that because of your particular school? Nobody is.
Probably. I'm just saying my experience.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying my experience. I can only speak from my experience. My school didn't fly the flags. We recognized Black History Month, but we didn't fly the flags. What I'm saying is, right now, for them to do this is a solely political move. It's solely political move for it to happen in California, in Beverly Hills right now, and it's a school board passing this. That's the problem I have with it, is the school board passing it. Because we know what happens if it was the other way around. Would they lose funding?
So
if it was the other way around, they would lose funding. I'm asking you, do you think if it was the other way around, would they lose funding? If they were flying Palestinian flags, would they lose funding?
Yeah, probably. Probably. But I thought all the schools were losing funding because of the Trump.
No, he's right now. They're targeting the anti-Semitism. They're targeting anti-Semitism. I'm not mad about it. Yeah. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying. No, I'm talking to the chat right now, Stacey. I'm not mad about it, John. I'm saying that it's a start, and right now we have this going on. We're already a lot of people coming to my chat saying, not our war, not our war, not our war, and now we're putting it in the schools.
Well. And I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. You got to understand, like, certain districts, when they have school districts, you got to understand who is in this district, right? If it's a whole bunch of Jews in this district, then they're going to vote on, right?
Correct.
If that was in Atlanta, I think it would be, some controversy, but then at the end of the day, it's who's in this school district that's the parents, the race, you know what I'm saying, the religious beliefs. And I think, to me personally, I think this is just distractions to keep us just fighting each other without really like voting people out that's making these decisions when it comes to this relationship we have with Israel, when it comes to them not wanting to cease fire. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, me personally, it doesn't bother me now that you said it was a month. But if it was something that was like, oh, we're just gonna fly this flag just because. But if they're celebrating their month, their Heritage Month, no problem with it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I'm trying to figure out how I can approach it. You said CNN and circling the drain. What's up with Ozzy? So do you think this could breed a problem in the schools? That's what I'm gonna ask. Do you think this could breed a problem in the school? Like, because it's not gonna happen until May, but it's gonna be on the table, going back and forth until then.
Yeah, I think by the time May next year, right? I think by
Correct.
that time we're gonna find something else to be. Locally, it might be a problem, but internationally, nationally, by the time May gets here, we're gonna be thinking about something else. So be sure, because I'm not in that district and I don't. You brought this to our attention, but like with any other thing, we cry about it, we fuss about it, and then we go on to the next issue.
No, correct. No,
And it
you
just
are
depends,
right.
and it just depends, and you know what, Plug? It just depends on what's going to happen with Israel and Gaza by the time May gets here. Because if it is just as bad as it is now, or gets worse by the time when May gets here and that flag gets raised, then maybe some more media attention will be brought to this. But I guess it's one of those things where we just have to kind of wait and see.
Correct. And
Tell everybody just.
I'm gonna respond to John. John says we're not talking about CNN. We're talking about one school. Let the school do whatever they want. One school. I hear you, John. And that sounds like it would be okay. But we know, you see the flags that Jack Swartz are putting down there. We know if that school board would have sat down and voted 3-2 to fly those other flags, it would have been all hell would have broke loose. The funding would have been gone. The state would have probably came talking about taking their damn school. Let's be real, John. But I appreciate you for calling in, Stacey. I'm gonna move on to the next topic.
All right, thank you.
All right now. The call lines are back open if anybody else wants to call in on this topic before we move on. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are about 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. And like I said, Chad, I don't have a problem with it in a whole. I'm just saying that if we're going to play fair, we should play fair, right? If we're going to play fair, we should play fair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you said... Oh, y'all are talking about Trump being unalived. Yeah, they are saying that Trump was missing for a while. A lot of people are saying he just took a day off. A lot of people are saying the clips that were posted was uploaded at 4 a.m. So they're saying those clips aren't real. We're gonna get into that here in a second. I got one more thing I want to cover before we get to that. We're gonna slide over here to the truckers, man. The truckers sliding in. All right, man. So it's saying 5 citizens got caught using hidden cameras and earpieces to cheat on commercial driver's license exams. Officials say this is happening all over the country. These are the people who end up driving 18-wheelers and can't read traffic signs. So they're saying that they uncovered this. Art of War, what it do, Art of War?
we've obtained documents about 5 people arrested in Jacksonville.
Fair
We're
use.
showing only the face of the man already convicted. The charges? Felonies. Cheating to get their CDL, commercial driver's license to drive a truck. Do the men arrested speak English? On the arrest reports, take a look. All requested interpreters. The arrests fall under the Bureau of Criminal Investigations and Intelligence from the Florida Highway Patrol. It's complex.
This is a very elaborate case.
What are we talking about? We're talking about the truckers. So you know that there have been a lot of incidents with truckers. They're saying a lot of these truckers are cheating on their commercial driver's exams. They're saying that these truckers cannot read the traffic signs. We've seen the one guy that tried to take that official use only turn and ended up ending the lives of 3 people. So right now they're uncovering, they went deep diving to figure out how are these people obtaining commercial driver's license. They're saying it because a lot of people tried to isolate this incident to California. They really came hard at California for these drivers, but this investigative discovery, I guess, video, they found 5 different drivers. I believe these drivers were in Florida. They're saying it's happening all over the country. I'm sure they're felonies. I'm sure they're investigating it. They're going into the driver's exam with earpieces and hidden cameras. They all requested an interpreter.
XX.
What's going on, XX, man? Tell the chat where you calling from.
I'm calling from Washington. 1 second, okay, there we go. So basically I wanted to talk about the flag debate over the schools. Is that cool?
Okay, yeah. Hey, hold on 1 second. Robert Perkins says, I hope YouTube is paying your broke ass well. They not paying me good enough, Robin, so I need your punk ass to send a donation. How about that? Since you want to talk shit, I ain't asked for a donation all day. Now my cup's out, Robin. Do you want to donate to the channel or not? Go ahead, XX.
Okay, cool. Anyways, so this whole thing with the school debate flying the Israeli flag, it's kind of contradictory because they had the LGBT flag flown, and a whole bunch of Republicans and Democrats were mad about the LGBT flag, but now that it's an Israeli flag, everybody is up in arms on the left, and Republicans are like, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine now, when they were happy, unaccepting of the LGBT flag being flown. So if you're okay with any flag other than the U.S. flag being flown, you should be okay with the Israeli flag or any other flag. And if you're not, you shouldn't be okay with the Israeli flag. So basically, in my opinion, if you decide you want to fly any other flag, any other school could fly the Nazi flag. So in my opinion, you should not be able to fly any flag other than the American flag or the state flag.
Okay. No, I get it, man. I get it. That is an excellent take, man. I seen a guy on Twitter that proposed that. So how do you feel like this should only be for public settings? Like if it's a private corporation, they should be able to do what they wanted to do?
Absolutely. Any private corporation should be able to fly any flag they want. That's just an identifying of what values they hold. If they want to fly an LGBT flag, that's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly accepting of the LGBT community. I have no problems with them. But if, that being said, if it's a public setting and a whole bunch of Nazis get elected into the state senate or, the public setting, they shouldn't be able to fly the Nazi flag. That's not acceptable. And a lot of people see the Israeli flag as a Nazi flag, and a lot of people see the LGBT flag as like a socialist flag. And
Correct.
I don't see how it's really uniting the country by flying a divisive symbol for people.
Correct. And for me, XX, it's kind of like the LGBTQ. Yeah, it's going on throughout the world, but that's kind of an internal issue that we're dealing with as Americans from either side, And I feel like when we bring other countries, especially other countries that, just other countries, not America, that's a different problem. That's where we get to having the debate of not our war. That's where we get to having the debate of, is this religious or is this political? That's where we get to having a lot of, a lot of layers to the onion.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, is there's a lot of I guess anti-Semitism towards the Israelis or Jews in general, when it's an ethnicity and it's also a nationality. So a lot of Jewish people in the country, they're Jewish from ethnicity or religious, and they're having to deal with a lot of anti-Semitism because of the stuff Israel is doing, or the way it's, yeah. And unfortunately, we have to separate Jewish people from the Jewish state in order to talk about them. And it's, unfortunately, there's been several people that have kind of pissed me off just talking about, oh, the Jews do this and they do this. And it's like, no, they don't. They're individual people who act. But the Israeli state is different. That's, currently acting in an unsavory manner and killing civilians. It's unfortunate, but I don't know how to fix this issue exactly. It's we just have to stop the division and get back to the stuff we can agree on, and that should be the American flag, in my opinion. But I'll let you go. That's really all I had to talk about with you.
Man, I appreciate that, XX. I really wonder where the Hebrew Israelites fall in on this, man. I really wonder where the Hebrew Israelites fall in on this debate. But I appreciate you for calling in.
Everyone in chat, go ahead and plug a dono. He doesn't get enough donos. Just donate to his stream. Get this man a night out with his kids.
Appreciate that, XX. Hey, man, you enjoy the rest of your day. Man, I appreciate XX for calling in, man. He had a pretty good take. You said the swastika is a symbol of peace and prosperity. The Germans gave it a bad rap, unfortunately. Okay. NC Tyrant Hunter. Welcome in. You say you're on your way to 200K. Congratulations on that 200K. We are on a 100K grind ourselves. Congratulations on that 200K. But back to the video, chat. I'm gonna start the video over because we kind of went back to the other topic. But this is the migrant workers cheating to pass their commercial driver exams.
And now we have an exclusive look into a criminal investigation about just that. We've obtained documents about 5 people arrested in Jacksonville. We're showing only the face of the man already convicted. The charges? Felonies. Cheating to get their CDL, commercial driver's license to drive a truck. Do the men arrested speak English? On the arrest reports, take a look. All requested interpreters. The arrests fall under the Bureau of Criminal Investigations and Intelligence from the Florida Highway Patrol. It's complex.
This is a very elaborate case. It is.
Sergeant Dylan Bryan with FHP says there is now an investigation statewide across Florida. Dozens and dozens of cases, he says. And the cheating scheme centered in Jacksonville. You're watching now a body camera from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office of an arrest made inside the DMV on Roosevelt. One man arrested, Vladislav Urashik, found guilty of 2 felonies, sent to jail in April for 8 months. Brian calls him above entry level, but not the mastermind.
Oh, man. Thank you, Lala, for the gifted membership. Y'all give Lala some flames on that gifted membership. Thank you, Lala, for your continued support, man. Thank you again, Lala. This is crazy, chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Double tapping the screen is how you support the channel for free. Just tap twice, because I know you watching on your phone. It's early. You getting the day started. Man, I know you laid back watching your phone. Double tap the screen.
For the kingpin.
Always.
Thank you, Stacy, for the high five. Thank you, Stacy, for the high five, man. Y'all get Stacy some flames on that high five. Thank you for your continued support, Stacy.
So how does FHP say this cheating scheme works?
We were shocked to see the extent that they were going to.
Brian calls it organized fraud. According to investigators, the men went in here, the DMV on Roosevelt, to take the CDL test to drive a truck. But they are rigged up with equipment to get their answers.
And you see the actual apparatus that he's wearing. He has a chest harness that actually holds the phone.
A red iPhone in the harness, and under a t-shirt, you see the hole right there? So he comes in this t-shirt with a hole cut in it.
Yes.
Now watch this. In a video we've obtained from the DMV, this man opening his shirt. Brian says it's kind of like FaceTime. The men sit in front of a computer and wiggle around.
Their body language is abnormal.
Until somebody outside in a parking lot can read the test questions on the screen in English and then tell them through this earpiece in their language. Employees at the DMV got suspicious.
Most people don't start to disrobe when they take a DL test.
They're unbuttoning their shirts.
They are, indeed.
So the 5 men arrested so far, that's just the tip of the iceberg?
It is.
This is happening all over the country. Maybe from Jacksonville we can make a difference.
All over the country, chat. Saying it's happening all over the country, man. And I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention because we kind of ran with the narrative that Cali was the where it was going on because a lot of the. Hold on, chat. I am a father, chat. Hold on. But yeah, Chad, we went pretty hard on California, man. We went pretty hard on California. This guy was from Florida. And he says that they've uncovered dozens. They got 5 people arrested, but they uncovered dozens. He said it's happening all over the country, so they will be on the lookout for those things going on. I just thought that it was kind of crazy, man. I mean, these tests are not proctored. Maybe the test should be proctored, I guess. I mean, they got the cameras up there, so I guess it's proctored, but maybe they need the little online assistant. You know how when you take some proctored exams on the internet, they'll have the little person up there in the box looking at you, man, or they'll have the little light on where they looking at you through the camera and shit. So if the camera's looking at on the webcam and they doing all of this, it'll be an easy tell. OG Pal, what you said, the Republicans want us to think that. What do you mean, OG Pal? What do you mean? All right, chat. We're gonna move on to the next story. Let me find what's going on right here, man. Okay, yeah, this is we're gonna move on to the Scott Presler. I'm not familiar with Scott Presler. If any of y'all are familiar with Scott Presler, press 1. Press 1 if any of you guys are familiar with Scott Presler, man. This is what it says, man. I'm gonna play the video. Hold on.
Scott Presler.
All right, man. This is Eric Daughtry over there on X. It says Scott Presler is blasting out a warning. 1 second. Hold on, chat. That's crazy, man. You said plus the companies need to pay more decent, so qualified people will be waiting to take those jobs. No, most definitely. It says Scott Presler over there on Twitter. Eric Daughtry says, alert, Scott Presler is blasting out a warning to all MAGA Republicans ahead of this November. Republicans are going to lose everything unless we change things quickly. You're going to lose governorship in Virginia. You're going to lose governorship in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where We have been working tirelessly, non-stop, even since the election. We're on the verge of having 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices retained until 2035. If you're only planning to vote on Election Day, Tuesday, November 4th, consider the elections gone. Over. Game over. You've already lost. And if you do not engage in early voting, whether in person or in Pennsylvania, the convoluted in-person on demand mail-in voting. If you don't request a mail-in ballot, you're going to lose everything. Let's see who listens, Republicans. If you do not embrace early voting and mail-in voting for the upcoming Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 election, you will lose. You have 65 days to make a change and make a difference. Who's gonna help? Republicans must all go out on mail-in and early voting. Until the laws change, we must take advantage of the system and beat Dems at their own game. Let's see what this video is saying, man.
I'm not here to bring you a happy video. I'm here to give you a dose of reality. It's August 29th. I want you to bookmark this. You timestamp this right now. It's after 2 a.m. and I'm out walking my 6 miles as I do every single day. And I'm here to tell you, Republicans are going to lose everything this November unless we change things, and quickly. You're going to lose the governorship in Virginia, and you're going to have a Democrat. You're going to lose the governorship in New Jersey, and you're going to have Mikey Sherrill, Murphy 2.0. And in Pennsylvania, where we have been working tirelessly, nonstop, even since the election, we're on the verge of having 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices retained until 2035. Republicans, I hate to say it, and I love ya, but I'm going to be honest. You are absolutely clueless. And it's not just the leadership at the top, but I have to say to our voters, if you are only planning to vote on Election Day, on Tuesday, November 4th, consider the election's gone. Over. Game over. You've already lost. If you do not engage in early voting, whether in person or in Pennsylvania, the convoluted in-person, on-demand mail-in voting, and if you don't request a mail-in ballot, you are going to lose everything. And I'm making this video, number one, because we still have 66 days to change things. And we still have 2 months to make things right. But at the same time, I'm also making this as a Scott was right video, that if and when Republicans do not embrace early voting and mail-in voting, and we lose everything, I want to be able to point to this video and say, well, I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you. I tried to...
So I'm going to pause it right there, chat. Everybody double tap the screen and shut the live out, man. We are 21 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. He's saying that if Republicans don't embrace mail-in and early voting, they're going to lose. The Democrats going to have, what did he say? I'm going to have to play this video over again because I missed some key important things. He said, somebody said LGBTQ for Trump. It's crazy. Where's the damn... Where is it, chat? I just lost it. What did he say? That they're going to retain to 2035? Hold on. 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices until 2035. So he's saying that they don't go out there and mail in vote, man, they're going to retain 3 Supreme Court justices until 2035, man. But we seen Trump say he finna put a executive order out to stop all of this shit, man, saying that if you are not severely sick or far away military, your ass won't be able to mail in vote. And he wants one-day elections as well. Paper ballot. One-day elections, paper ballot. And if you are not sick or far away military, your ass need to show up in person.
Convoluted in-person, on-demand mail-in voting. And if you don't request a mail-in ballot, you are going to lose everything. And I'm making this video, number one, because we still have 66 days to change things. And we still have 2 months to make things right. But at the same time, I'm also making this as a Scott was right video, that if and when Republicans do not embrace early voting and mail-in voting, and we lose everything, I want to be able to point to this video and say, well, I tried to tell you. I tried to warn you. I tried to put a lantern out and Paul Revere the upcoming elections. And let's see who listens. You know, in 2022, the machines went down on election day in Arizona, and we have Katie Hobbs. Wonderful. In Nevada, we lost an election by 8,000 votes because it snowed on election day. And in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, we have John Fetterman today, in part because they ran out of paper on election day. And if Republicans do not learn from history, we are undoubtedly going to repeat the same mistakes and then wonder why. And I have to say, there has been a contingency of people attacking me for trying to do everything in my power to get Republicans elected into office. And none of these people have talked about Winsome Sears for governor in Virginia. None of these people have talked about Jack Ciattarelli for New Jersey governor. And none of these people have talked about voting no to retention to Democrats Doherty, Donahue, and Wet. And it makes me wonder, these people that are attacking me, while I'm a gentleman that started an organization with 25 full-time staff on the ground in Pennsylvania, I have 14 full-time staff on the ground in New Jersey, and even meanwhile, being on the ground, going from the York State Fair to register voters, to the Crawford County Fair to register voters, to the Center County Fair to register voters, to the GDS Fair to register voters, and I'm going to Luzerne County Fair as well. And even having the ability and the diligence and the dedication and determination to lose 45 pounds while doing everything else that I do, it really makes me wonder, A, what are these people doing? And B, why aren't they doing everything in their power to elect Republicans in office instead of attacking our own with friendly fire? Take that as you will, but you hear me loudly, you hear me clearly, and you hear me once for all. Republicans, if you do not embrace early voting and mail-in voting for the upcoming Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 election, you will lose everything. And that's good.
All right, somebody said, Paul, this is America tired of democracy. Press 1 if you are tired of democracy, sick and tired of democracy. Press 2 if you are not sick and tired of democracy. Press 2 if you are not sick and tired of democracy. 1 if you are, 2 if you're not.
But for failure in 2026, if you were loyal to President Trump, if you were loyal to keeping the House, if you were loyal to keeping the Senate, then you do everything in your power to elect Republicans.
What?
PA, VA, and NJ this November. If I can do everything that I can do, then I need y'all to step up. I need y'all to do more. You have 66 days to make a change and make a difference. Who's going to help?
So yeah, man, that's Scott Presler with a warning to all Republicans. That's Scott Presler with a warning to all Republicans, man. That's crazy, Chad. That is absolutely crazy, Chad. We're gonna move on in the show. I do have the phone lines open. I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on what Scott Presler is saying. Y'all know I'm a centrist. I am the voice of the politically homeless, and as the voice of the politically homeless, I gotta keep it fair and square, man. I gotta shoot this shit straight down the middle. Scott Presler, right, Republican? Because we know about the executive order that Trump's trying to make, but they said elections are ran by the states, correct? So Trump's gonna have a hard time getting that done without pushback from, a lot of the governors, a lot of the courts, right? So that's going to be wasted time, wasted effort, man. That's going to be wasted. You can stand on principle and be like, hey, I'm going to go out and make sure that I vote, but a lot of people who are just going to be spiteful and not request that ballot, it's going to be fucked up because, like you said, the weather could be a turn of events. Said one time it snowed somewhere. They lost by 8,000 votes. 8,000 people didn't come vote because it snowed. So I'm just going to keep it real. What Scott Presler is saying, at least for this 2026 election for the Republicans, is right. Y'all need to take heed to what he's saying. Y'all got 65 days to get that shit together, or it might be over with, man. Because I don't see them banning it all the way outright. I don't see them banning it all the way outright, chat. We are going to move on to the next topic if nobody's going to call in. Let me see. What is the next topic, man? The next topic, I do got a topic too, man, but that might run y'all up out of here. This shit is crazy, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it. We finna talk about it we finna talk about it. Where is this dude at, man? Yeah, this one might run y'all up out of here. I'm not gonna lie, but wouldn't be plugged if I didn't bring y'all the damn news, man. If I didn't bring y'all the damn news, man, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. If this is not for the faint. This is not for the weak-hearted. This is not for the yeah, this not for everybody, man. This right here not for everybody. Y'all might. I'm gonna give y'all a little fair warning. Y'all might want to come back in 5-10 minutes. Y'all might want to come back in 5-10 minutes because this is real shit. It says, this is from Valerie Ann Smith over there on X. Valerie Ann Smith over there on X says, quote, babies have to remain alive for organs to be harvested in vaccine development experiments. That's from Aaron Siri. He also said, you can't grow viruses using dead organ tissue. They have to be born alive. Dr. Stanley Plotkin admits to all under oath. Unborn babies are alive at tissue extraction. Famous vaccinologist coined the godfather of vaccine during 9 hours of deposition under... Hold on, Jack. My bad, chat. Y'all know it's a holiday weekend, so I got the kids for an extra day, man. I got the kids for an extra day, so I had to, go in there and get some straightening. I had to go get some straightening, man. But back to what I was saying, man. It says Dr. Stanley Plotkin admits to all under oath unborn babies are alive at tissue extraction. Famous vaccinologist coined the godfather of vaccines during the 9 hours of deposition under oath reveals horrifying acts of violence and experimentation on babies aborted for the sole purpose of research experimentation studies. Thousands of babies are being used for experimentation. Mothers who sign up to donate their unwanted unborn child to be used experimentally for vaccine development. Dr. Plotkin gladly admits without remorse to lawyer Aaron Siri that he accepts human sacrifice as normal and acceptable consequence in order to further science, as he is first and foremost a scientist and a practicing atheist. Former vaccine researcher and biologist Pamela Acker has stated the babies are alive when the researchers start extracting the tissue. The hearts are still beating and they're not given any anesthetic because that would contaminate the organs being harvested that need to be alive and pure and free of toxin. According to these experts, Dr. Teresa, PhD, babies are born alive from 5 to 6 months old, with beating hearts cut out without anesthesia for research purposes. Researchers are also cut through live babies' faces to collect brain tissue. The vaccine industry is built on the use of babies to organize and produce many vaccines. They also have to replace these lines with current organs, the most being WALVAX-2, using the lung from one of 10 babies in 2015 for vaccine development. HEK, y'all see the rest, human kidney, female, used for the development of Ebola and the jab. MRC, that number. Human lung, male, used in polio, rabies, chickenpox, Hep A, shingles, fifth cell line. WI8, human lung, female, used in polio, rabies, chickenpox, hep A, shingles. And it just keeps going on, man. It just keeps going on. I'm finna play the clip.
Dose of an MMR shot. There are literally. Let me explain to you why some people
this is
the MMR vaccine.
I can't say allegedly because they say he testified to this under oath. But fair use. That was what I was looking for. Fair use. Fair use.
Every single dose of an MMR.
Now these aren't regular. These women are aborting their babies and donating them for experimental science. I don't know if they know what comes with that. These aren't just, they're signing off on, yes, I'm donating my baby for experimental science. This is what they're saying.
There are literally millions of pieces from the cultured cell line of an aborted fetus. Every single injection.
Daddy.
Now, again, that might sound crazy, but I could literally pull up right now the CDC's own ingredient list for the MMR vaccine. Anybody can do this at home. Just Google vaccine excipient list, CDC, and you can pull it up and you can see. It has MRC5, WI38. Those are cultured cell lines from aborted fetus, because you have to grow viruses in a cell. Viruses won't just grow. They have to grow in cells. That's how they replicate. They take over the machinery of a cell. So you have to grow it on a cellular substrate. So how do they grow the rubella? They grow it on these cultured cell lines from aborted fetus.
Where do they get aborted fetuses?
From babies that are aborted.
From abortion clinics.
It has to be. You can't use. So the cells need to be alive. So you understand, like, the aborted fetal tissues has to remain alive to be used. And so, I deposed, for example, the world's leading vaccinologist, Dr. Stanley Plotkin. And that deposition is actually available on thehighwire.com. The whole deposition, 9 hours, is available there. Okay.
Parts of it are available on X, and
yes.
I watched part of it in preparation for this interview, and was so shocked and revolted.
Crazy chat. This crazy chat. I'm not gonna lie, man. Press 1 if you knew that this was going on, man. Press 1 if you knew that this was going on. They was extracting tissue from live babies to create medicines, man. Did y'all know that? Press 1 if you knew that was going on. Press 2 if you did not know that was going on. It threw me off, chat. I'm not gonna lie. It threw me off.
I was already on your side, obviously, as a parent of a child who was vaccine injured. So I'm in tune with everything you're saying, but that deposition with Dr. Stanley Plotkin, who's still alive, 93, I checked, was one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in my life.
You watched the whole thing?
No. I watched selections of it.
Okay, yeah. And so then about what the clip I'm about to talk about, which is relating to just one study that was done that involved over 70 normal, healthy fetuses, right, that there was nothing wrong, no abnormalities, that were aborted for the purposes of this one study. I mean,
past the first trimester. They're all older than 3 months, he said.
That's right. Some of them, absolutely. And what they do is they take those, in that one study, those 70-something babies, and they they chop them up into little each body part. So they take the tongue, the lung, the liver, every body part, and they chop them up into little cubes, and then they try to culture viruses on them because they want to see which part of the body is the best suited for growing the virus used in the vaccine. And so this is, in any event, and there's a lot, anybody who wants can research about this.
So this is answering the question, why is this a religion for some people? There is a heavy stuff going on.
You mean for folks who don't want to receive the vaccine?
No, for people who support them.
Well, you have to
human sacrifice quality here, sorry. That was my takeaway from that interview, and I think you actually asked him, are you an atheist? Yes, I am.
Yes. Well, the case was about a religious belief that our client had, contrary to the practice of vaccination. They didn't want to vaccinate her kid, and he decided to volunteer, for reasons I'll never understand, to be an expert. And he came to the deposition. He didn't come to trial. He did not show up for trial. We even sent him a subpoena duces tecum after the deposition. If you ever see the deposition, he says, "Oh, well, there is this or there's that." And so I sent him a document request saying, "Hey, you said there's this and that. Give it to us." And then he brought a collateral lawsuit to quash that subpoena, believe it or not, because he did not want to give, because they don't have it. It doesn't exist. Just like this polio petition. It's not, I don't ask for things, we I try to do my homework beforehand, in any event.
This, vaccines are grown with the cells of aborted baby tongues.
Well, no. Well, let me be clear about that. In that study, they were trying to figure out which body part was best to use. So the one that they ended up with was actually from the lung of the aborted baby, aborted fetus. So it's lung fibroblasts are the where the cells the substrate that ended up working. So they tried with tongue, it didn't work as well. And there's a number of qualities they're looking for. How well does the virus replicate? Are there other potential, viruses, and so forth, and so forth, so forth. Well, what's the best medium to do it in? And so there's.
But you said that the cells have to be alive. So where do the bodies come from? Do we know?
Well, when the baby is aborted for the purposes, and they're typically aborted for the scientific purpose, right? I mean, they have to know beforehand for the most part, because if they abort the baby and they don't immediately act to make sure that don't die, then you can't use them in these experiments. So, and this is I'm
about as uncomfortable as I've ever been in an interview right now. This is like really beyond that this happens.
This shit crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, chat. That threw me off, chat. We need to get some likes in the building, man. It's crazy. We not at 100 likes yet. Not at 100 likes is insane. I'm not gonna lie, chat. That's crazy, chat. Damn, bro. I thought y'all fucked with me, man. Excuse my language. I wasn't supposed to be cussing. I thought y'all messed with me, chat. It's crazy. I'm gonna say this, man. I didn't know that was going on, man. Like, I didn't know you had the option to give your child up for experimental research purposes. I didn't know that was a box you could check. I didn't know that was a box you could check, Chad. It's crazy. Alright, this guy right here is going viral, man. They've already found this guy's, where he works, where he lives, his name and everything, man. So it says this liberal is celebrating a Minnesota Catholic church shooting, saying it's time Christians finally get their turn, and that there will be a lot more of that coming up. So I told y'all, chat, we covered the Reddit chats the other night, and I was reading y'all some of the Redditors, man, posted like how sick and disturbing their posts were. And this guy just said fuck it and put his face on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't even like, fuck all that high. I mean, excuse me, chat, I wasn't supposed to be cussing this morning. He's like, forget all of that hiding, and I'm just gonna put my face on it, man. So I'm gonna let y'all hear what he said, man. I haven't watched it through. I was gonna watch it with you guys.
There's gonna be a lot more of that coming up. You know, especially these religious areas, you know. Hey, we've had enough of your kind coming after public schools, right? It's about time, churches and Catholic schools and religious schools, it's about time they get their turn. That's what I think. I'm just gonna sit back and watch people do it. And I'm gonna fucking laugh. I'm laughing about yesterday. You guys wanna laugh about us? We're gonna laugh about you. And you know what?
That's crazy. Hey, Tola says, isn't it a political show? Don't show us the opinions of Manson types. Tola, no, this show is called the Pluxation Show. This is the show where I get on here and we talk about what the hell I want to talk about, or what the hell people send me in my Discord in the suggestion box. So no, this is not a political show. I'm the voice of the politically homeless, but we talk about entertainment, we talk about current events, we talk about politics, we talk about relationships, parenting, we talk about a lot of shit over here, man. Why do you come in here trying to put me in a box, man? telling me what I shouldn't show you the opinion of. Swipe up, man. Swipe up. You can come back later. You know, no hard feelings, no harm, no foul. Just don't come in here trying to be a curator when you're not even in the Discord in the suggestion box. Now, if you want to help be a curator of this show, we got a suggestion box. It's in the Discord. Mods, drop the Discord. Man. It's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't never went in nobody chat and told them what the hell to talk about. I ain't never done that. I've never went in nobody chat and told them what to talk about. Motherfuckers be, what do you call that? It's not opinionated. It's, I don't know what to call it, bro.
We get it. We get it. You can do it. Please don't go over.
So y'all see, man, this dude is on TikTok.
We get it. We get it.
This dude on TikTok. These are the black. Hold on. I don't know if they painted this one black yet, man, or not. But he just showed us how easy he scaled that damn These he scaled the damn wall, bro, pretty easily, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he scaled it pretty. I don't know how the fuck. I mean, I don't know how he planned on getting down. I don't know how he planned on getting down, but we seen he got up there pretty easily. So the post is asking, do we need to add electricity? I don't know, Chad. I don't know. Electricity sounds a little inhumane, but it's like, damn, Chad. That's what they're asking on this post. I'm gonna show y'all, man.
We get it. We get it. You can do it.
They said just add grease. Yeah, grease would work. That's crazy. He scaled that thing, man. You said that dude a professional climber? Okay. I didn't know he was a professional, but he got his ass over there, man. A little grit, a little determination, you might be able to scale it, man. A little grit and a determination, you might be able to scale it, man. Missouri governor calls for a special session. They trying to redraw their maps too. The Republican governor of Missouri, he's trying to redraw their maps in response to all of the gerrymandering that's been going on, man. We also got this one right here too, chat. This shit right here is kind of crazy to me, man. They said that what are they running around saying right now? Everybody's gonna be held accountable. Right now they're going after Leticia James pretty hard. They've been going after her for some months, but right now it's looking bad on her, man. It's looking bad on her, man. They say Leticia caught harboring a fugitive. Jailbird niece is hiding out in Leticia's home, man. Now look, man, this is what Trump posted, man. Trump posted Leticia niece, man. This shit is crazy. Trump posted this, man. I've never seen a president be this active on social media, bro. Like Trump, like, is this what do we call this, Che? Is this low key like exposing them? Like, did Trump just expose, or like what do we call this, man? Like, this is crazy, bro. Just to think that Trump just dropped a picture of your niece mugshot. That's crazy, bro. It says right here, This means Leticia James could herself be charged with harboring a fugitive, and because it involves interstate flight, James could be subject to federal harboring law, which carries up to 5 years in prison, as detailed by Sam Antar's white collar fraud website. Leticia James co-signed for a mortgage for a property located at 604 Sterling Street in Norfolk, Virginia, alongside her niece Shamice Thompson Hairston in August 2023. Despite being a permanent resident of Brooklyn and New York State Attorney General, as part of this transaction, James executed a notarized power of attorney. Dang, it says Thompson listed as an absconder. Then they put her offense number on the department's official website as wanted for violating probation terms. North Carolina authorities are urging anyone with knowledge of her whereabouts to call their tip line. Where is Nikita Monique hiding? All indications, including from Leticia James herself, are that Thompson is hiding out in Leticia's mortgage fraud home in New York, is what the article is reading, man. So do y'all think she cooked, man? Do y'all think Leticia's cooked, chat? I think she might be cooked, man. They look like they coming after her pretty hard, man. Then they got her, if they got the signatures that she co-signed on that home, man, her niece might have just got her in some shit, man. She might not even have known her niece was doing that. Her niece might have just got her in some bullshit, chat. What's up, Mama Money? Do y'all think that her niece got her in some bullshit, chat? That's crazy, man. That is wild, bro. That's wild, man. We 25 subs away from the next sub goal, man. We 25 subs away from the next sub goal. Oh man, check it out, chat. This is crazy. Man. Oh yeah, I was gonna speak on that. People were saying Trump was gone, man, missing for the days, man, and we was gonna speak on Kamala getting the Secret Service removed. Kamala got her Secret Service removed, but they say the California Highway Patrol will be her security. So does that leave the state? Is they just gonna protect her like? Are they just gonna protect her in Cali? Hold on, Chad. Hold on, Chad. Y'all know I gotta get to the ad-free account, man. Y'all know I gotta get us to the ad-free jump. Straight up.
Right now, I do want to get you out to a live look over the White House at this hour as we do talk about the rumors that have blown up all over social media regarding the whereabouts of President Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, chat. Like, the stuff I seen on X was kind of disgusting, bro. Like, even if you hate the president, bro, like, people were saying that they were gonna send people $100 if Trump's not here no more. People were really celebrating this man's death, and a lot of theories have came up that this is not the real Trump. People have been circulating Dick Gregory videos where he accused of being two Trumps. You know, they said that Trump was spotted out 2 different places in 2 different countries the same day, one time in the past. They're saying that the video that they uploaded showing Trump getting ready to play golf, they looked at the metadata or whatever it was, 16 different sources said it was uploaded at 4 in the morning when it was bright outside, so there's no way it could be 4 in the morning. They even been going to dig to JD Vance, and then we have Trump coming out today saying, like, with the campaign fundraiser, like, hey, look, man, I'm trying to make it to heaven. I think God saved me from that headshot, man, so I could make America great again, man. So yeah, they was going crazy over there on X, man, hoping that Trump wasn't here no more. It was it was crazy yesterday, chat.
White House saying he is completely fine. Take a look right here at what I'm talking about. This shows the trending topics there on Twitter or X. Now, over the last several hours, there have been several variations of hashtag where is Trump. The reasoning is that the president is normally in front of the cameras near daily, making some kind of remarks and taking questions from reporters. His last real public appearance was a televised 3-hour meeting with his cabinet. We showed that to you here on Live Now from Fox. That was on Tuesday. For some, his Truth Social post last night about the appeals court ruling on tariffs was enough to calm the chatter, while others on social media expressed different conspiracy theories that it could have been a member of his staff who was posting. Well, this morning, take a look as Barack Ravid over at Axios posted a short time ago on social media, clearing up any rumors saying that he has talked with those in the know and President Trump is just fine. Here is Ravid's post right there, simply saying, quote, "A U.S. official tells me Trump is okay. We'll play golf later this morning." Now, he did also post this one just a short time later, saying a U.S. official does tell me here that the White House pool report shows pool photog snaps pic of POTUS in white polo, red MAGA hat, black pants. POTUS's motorcade began rolling at 8:45 a.m. So again, clearing up those rumors that are circulating all over social media. Well, now back to that Truth Social post from the president. A U.S. appeals court ruling Friday that most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal, undercutting his use of those tariffs as a key international economic policy tool. The court did allow...
See, that's what I'm saying. He's saying that they voted saying the tariffs shouldn't be going on. He like, man, look, forget all that, man. The tariff's still in effect, man. He's saying he finna put an executive order out there for to end all this voter fraud. I see y'all in the chat saying, oh, it's states' rights and shit. Man, listen, I think he gonna be like, man, F all of that, man. Whatever states adopt this policy, they adopt this policy. Whatever states don't adopt this policy, it is what it is. We moving forward.
To remain in place through October 14th to give the Trump administration a chance to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Here is what Trump wrote late yesterday in response to that ruling. You see it right there on your screen. I'm going to take the banner down so you can read it a little bit further. But that says, quote, "All tariffs are still in effect. Today, a highly partisan appeals court incorrectly said that our tariffs should be removed, but they know the United States of America will win in the end. If these tariffs ever went away, it would be a total disaster for the country. It would make us financially weak, and we have to be strong. The USA will no longer tolerate enormous trade deficits and unfair tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers imposed by other countries, friend or foe, that undermine our manufacturers, farmers, and everyone else. If allowed to stand, this decision would literally destroy the United States of America. At the start of this Labor Day weekend, we should all remember that tariffs are the best tool to help our workers."
Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. I kind of agree with Trump on this one. Like, we can't just cut the tariffs off immediately now. We got them already jumping, man. We reverse course now. That shit going to make us look weak. Like, Trump ain't got no damn backbone. Like, what's going on in America now? If we want to do, a little rollback on the tariffs, like, hey, we can readjust it. We'll go do some more negotiations or something. But just to complete and utter, just cut them off, man, what is that going to do? Y'all let me know. I know that it's gonna make it look like Trump decision don't fucking matter for more negotiations moving forward. But the economic ramifications, y'all let me know, chat. Y'all let me know.
Support companies that produce great made-in-America products. For many years, tariffs were allowed to be used against us by our uncaring and unwise politicians. Now, with...
See? This is the problem I be having with motherfuckers like you, Internet Oracle. Talking about Trump is weak, dummy. Why I gotta be a dummy, bro? I'm in here having a conversation. Now you want to come in here calling me all out of my name. My name is Plug, in case you didn't know. So next time you address me, when you say Trump is weak, instead of saying dummy, say Plug. Alright? I'm addressing you as internet oracle, all right? You address me as plug. That's how we gonna do that. Fuck you, man.
The United States Supreme Court, we will use them to benefit our nation and make America rich, strong, and powerful again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Taking a live look over the White House once again as we continue to cover all of this. Officials say...
Crazy. But yeah, man, they said Trump popped up, man. Oh yeah, he did say he was finna go through and look at all the Section 8 too. He said he was finna get everybody out Section 8 that was illegal. Chicago mayor signs an order to resist National Guard deployment. I ain't seen this one, Chad. I'm not gonna lie, this is news to me. This is news to me. Chicago mayor signed an executive order. Hey, Chicago mayor said that they gonna fight back out there, man. He said they got some YNs out there. Chicago mayor might be tripping.
Welcome back in Live Now. I'm Austin Westfall. Take a look. Today, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson signing an executive order aimed at resisting potential actions of the Trump administration amid fears that the White House will deploy National Guard troops to the city. Chicago city officials saying that they are concerned that the National Guard troops will be deployed to combat crime in the city, and they're also concerned about the potential of more immigration enforcement activity in the Windy City as well. Host of the Strap podcast, Hal Kempfer, still joining me here. Hal, can the city stop the federal government if it wants to? What levers do they have to do such a thing if they can?
Honestly, Austin, not much.
Shit, Chad. Honestly, Austin, not much. The Chicago mayor signed this is not going to do nothing, but I guess he's doing a good faith effort to be like, hey, man, I tried to keep him out of here, man, but you know what, man, it wasn't, I did what I could. At the local level, I did what I could.
I have to tell you, this is more about the press conference, the announcement, the headlines, and a lot less about what they can actually do. Couple of things. Chicago and Washington, D.C. are completely different cities. Washington, D.C. is a federal district. There is a provision within the Home Rule Act which actually gives the president the ability to federalize the police force within Washington, D.C. because it is a federal district. And they have home rule up to a mayor, city council, but they don't have congressmen, they don't have senators, they're not a state. Chicago is in a state under the 10th Amendment. It has sovereign, certain sovereign rights that are incumbent upon a state. It is a city within that state. It is a declared sanctuary city. And so he's put this initiative. First off, he says that he won't allow them to federalize the Chicago Police Department. I don't know of any method, legal method or whatever, where the federal government could actually federalize the Chicago Police Department. It's just not something that they can do there. So I just found that to be rather interesting that he said that, but it means completely nothing as far as I'm concerned in terms of structural capability to do that. They're talking about moving in there's been discussion about rolling in the National Guard. He's kind of, Mayor Brendan Johnson's kind of making it look like the Guard is going to come in and patrol the city and stuff. Again, different than Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C., federal district, there's different rules because it's federal territory. Chicago is not. And so they can't go in there and say back up local police department in doing certain things because there's been no request to do so. And the only way the president could do that would be to declare the Insurrection Act. And at that point, the military could, federalized military could come in.
Now listen, Chad, he said the only way Trump could do that was propose the Insurrection Act. And I'm here to tell y'all this, man. If that's what he wake up in the morning and feel like doing, that's what the fuck he gonna do. I'm just gonna be real, Chad. Every day it's a whirlwind. Every day it's a new headline. Every day it's a new spin on it. If Trump wakes up tomorrow and decide he want to put an insurrection in Chicago, man, and send them folks, man, do y'all really think he not gonna do it? Time and time again we see it, man. I'm just gonna be real. not sugarcoating it. We see it. Oh, he's not gonna do that. He can't do it. He couldn't do a lot of shit, man. He been doing it. And deal with that shit later. What he just said about the tariffs, man. They said the tariffs shouldn't be going on. They ruled against it, man. Hey, look, man. Them tariffs still in effect. The hell is y'all talking? Man, them tariffs still in effect. Fuck what they talking about over there, man. Them tariffs still in effect. Oh, voter ID, that mail-in voting, man. I'm finna sign an executive order for that next week. You talking about we got 60-some days to November the 4th? Don't worry about it. Everybody gonna have to show up unless you really sick or you far off military, and you gonna get a paper ballot, and you better have that voter ID. You better have them stars on your driver's license you pull up over here, man. You better have them stars on your driver's license you pull up over here.
Do some law enforcement actions. I don't know of any plan to invoke the Insurrection Act on Chicago, but it is a sanctuary city. There is a plan to do a lot of immigration enforcement, opening up a camp just north of an immigration detention facility, I should say, just north of Chicago on the Great Lakes Naval Facility. I've actually been there. I actually trained their staff on doing crisis action planning, so I'm pretty familiar with that base. There is room there to do some stuff. So he's doing a lot of these things that just they don't quite fit in a Chicago context like they fit in a DC context, and he's kind of making a connective analogy, and he says they're going to try and do stuff legally that can obstruct deployment of National Guard troops or military troops in Chicago, and also block some of this immigration enforcement. And that's where it gets really interesting. If he stops, if he does something where the police department is actively stopping federal law enforcement or stopping the lawful deployment of federalized military troops in Chicago, I don't know, but I can tell you that lawyers at the White House will probably be looking at that and say, did he just do something that falls under the provisions of insurrection, and could the president declare the Insurrection Act?
What I tell y'all, thank you Dorian Spears for the 2 jewels. Thank you Dorian, y'all get Dorian some likes on those 2 jewels. He just said that Trump could use this press conference as an insurrection. Also, they got the Chicago mayor calling for damn near an uprising. I'm finna pull up the clip. I don't want to take him out of context, but he said some shit, man. And if they want to twist the verbiage, man, or how, I ain't even gonna say they're gonna twist it. If they want to take that man clip and use it as insurrection, man, ain't nobody on God's green earth gonna stop Trump from doing it tomorrow, man, or whatever day they do it, man. If Trump want to send them folks to Chicago and they tell him he has a clear path forward by saying it was an insurrection, and you got this man up here calling for the YNs to fight back or whatever he said. I don't want to take him out of context. We finna look at the clip, and he said that, look, man, we not taking the National Guard. We signing executive orders, man, which that is in his local power. I guess that's what he can do. But Trump, man, if he want to spin this shit, man, and send them soldiers out there to Chicago, he is gonna do it. He gonna do it. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm just here to tell y'all what I feel, man. Y'all can say I'm wrong. Y'all can be like, oh, but hey, man, I'm saying what the fuck I see finna happen, man. Not saying I'm championing it. Not saying I hate it. I'm just saying this is what's finna go on, and how is we gonna react. How are we gonna react when it go on? When you wake up and you see Trump done called out this mayor for insurrection, and he finna send the guard to Chicago, man, and clean the streets up, how are you gonna react? Then they be like, oh, what jurisdiction does he have here to do that? Oh, insurrection. Oh, that's not an insurrection. How is that not an insurrection? Then they get to playing them clips of him calling for pushback, and him, you know what I'm saying, and signing executive orders. Then they're gonna be like, well, damn, can he really do it? Guess what? It's gonna have to go to another court. By the time it go to another court, it's already boots on the ground. We just seen this shit happen with Gavin Newsom didn't want to send them over there.
Nobody's talked about that yet. But I will say that within this initiative that he's just talked about, he's kind of opened a door. And it's going to, it's not so much what they're saying, it's what they're going to do. And if they do stuff like put up roadblocks or do something else, or heaven forbid, something kinetic, which would be, I just have to say, that would be the dumbest thing for a city to do ever. would be to fight federal law enforcement or federal troops. I just can't imagine that happening. But just the language alone, I almost get the sense that if there was some intent to impose the Insurrection Act, that Mayor Johnson may have just kind of walked into a trap if there was ever any intent to do so. And I'm not saying there is, but that part of it really disturbed me when I saw that part where they said they're going to obstruct what's going on there, because the president can send federalized troops into Chicago. He can't use them for law enforcement, but he can. They can secure buildings, do all sorts of stuff, just like they did in Los Angeles. That was legal. Wasn't politically popular in the state or the city, but it was legal.
Live look at the most heavily visited tourist sites in the Windy City. Looks like our image is sputtering a little bit there of the Bean in Chicago, just past 3:30 Central Standard Time. Mayor Johnson, Hal, I'll just read a little bit more context about the executive order that Mayor Johnson signed today. As you've alluded to, it's titled the...
Mayor Johnson got a mohawk, don't he? They got Mayor Johnson with the mohawk out there, got his suit on. Look at it, got your guy behind him, man, looking around. Now we finna listen to what Mayor Johnson got to say, man. Mayor Johnson went to the barber this morning, man, and had something to say to the people of Chicago.
Chicago initiative. He says that it aims to inform residents of their rights and how to, quote, utilize legal action and legislation to prevent any attempts to systematically violate the rights of Chicagoans, unquote. We are not lawyers, but in general, Hal, what are federal officers or troops allowed to do and not allowed to do? Why does the mayor feel like it's important to use that kind of language?
You know, it actually is kind of, by using that language, it's basically alluding how federal law enforcement is going to start violating their rights, their constitutional rights, civil rights, privacy rights.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real. You said, do I really think? You said, y'all really think citizens are gonna roll over? You lost y'all damn minds. I don't think they trying to get citizens to roll over, Carpe Diem. I think they trying to make a show of force to get the YNs in line, man. They trying to make a show of force to get the YNs in line, specifically in Chicago right now. We can go on for hours about what other cities he should go to, whether he should go to red states, blue states. But right now, we're talking about Chicago, right? I'm going to say it, man. I don't think the YNs trying to do all of that with the military on the streets, man. Is it infringing upon our rights? We can have a debate. But far as stopping this shit, I don't think the YN's gonna be out there drilling and spinning, riding around with bad tags and stolen Hellcats and shit with the doors ripped off and the windshield out with the National Guard around. Now, are they gonna just isolate the National Guard to downtown? Oh, plug, they just gonna send them downtown. It's not bad downtown. Correct. You are right. Downtown Chicago is a very beautiful place. I've been there quite a few times. Downtown Chicago is beautiful. I love it. Now, are they going to drop them off in the south side? Are they going to drop them off in the west side or wherever? I don't know. I can only imagine they're going to be downtown. But they do drop them off in the problematic areas. Oh yeah, a lot of that shit gonna stop, man. You get to seeing them Humvees riding down the street, and everybody looking around in these camo fatigues and shit. Motherfuckers not coming outside for that. All the motion gonna slow down over time. Now, how long will that take, plug? I don't know. How long are they gonna be allowed to stay there? I don't know. But over time, yeah, motherfuckers ain't gonna be playing, bro. Especially if they carrying them SIGs like they are in DC. Yeah,
something like that, and it kind of puts that out there as almost an implied thing that's going to happen. We can look at what's happening in Washington D.C. Again, different situation, but I haven't seen where they've been going in and really violating stuff. In fact, in one case, it was recently filmed, I think yesterday, where immigration officials...
Thank you, Dorian. Oh, you said, what is a YN? A young N-word. You know what they call them. That's the new terminologies. You know, a young N-word. That's a YN.
Any federal troops around, although I will tell you that anymore they wear so much military garb. The law enforcement, federal law enforcement wears, camouflage flak or ballistic vests and everything else. I had to look close just to make sure that none of them were actually any National Guard. Didn't see any, but they knocked on a door of a place they suspected there might be illegal immigrants. Did not have a search warrant. They did not have probable cause. I guess that's.
Hey, y'all said enlist all the YNs. What y'all don't know is a lot of the YNs are signing up. A lot of the YNs, like chat, a lot of the YNs are signing up. A lot of the YNs are signing up for the military right now. Like, you can go on TikTok and you can see, like, just, damn, it's what they doing. That you can see the YNs on there. They still throwing up their gang. They still doing whatever, but they military, man. They enlisted. They riding around in 392 Hellcats now, you know what I'm saying, getting but they are enlisting. I cannot lie. The YNs are enlisting now. The YNs are enlisting. It's a trend. So the YNs, man, somebody got to the YNs, chat. Somebody got to the YNs and was like, you doing all this on the streets. Do you know they will pay you to, you know what I'm saying, guard some shit. You want to carry your gun all day, man, and you just got to, get it together and enlist. And the YNs are enlisting. I'm keep it real. Even from my hometown, a lot of the YNs from my hometown are enlisting.
Search warrant. The resident would not let them in, and they were enforced. But they were frustrated, and eventually they had to go away. I saw that. Go, well, that's kind of how the system works. If you can't go in, you can't go in, and that's the same way it should work in Chicago, which is they could go out there and do a lot of things similar to what they've been doing in Los Angeles and other places where they've been finding places where they think illegal immigrants are, and arresting them, detaining them, if you will, and holding them, and then processing them through the system. They could do that, but they can't. They can't. Violate. The law, if you will, in terms of harassing people or doing stuff like that. But they can do that, and I think it's more of a political statement than an actual functional statement. I don't know that people are not trying to protect their rights on any given day, but it is putting that out there, and it's going to energize the system. You're going to find a lot of people doing things, and you may see this kind of spur a lot of protests and other lawful activities or whatever that to hinder the ability of immigration enforcement in Chicago, kind of like you've seen in other places, and certainly in Southern California. We've seen a lot of these spontaneous protests and stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, it's always a heavy police presence downtown Chicago. Like, even back from years ago, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, downtown Chicago's always, like, every little intersection, they'll have a police sitting, like a black and a blue and white, whatever their cop car colors are, sitting in the median, like every block, like when you're downtown. So they have had a lot of heavy police presence down there, but the military going to be different. I just wonder, are they going to deploy the military to the south side, the east side? I'm just trying to see, is that what they're going to do, or is they not? Because if they send them downtown, that's a show of force, but ain't much going on downtown.
Go out there and basically try to hinder the ability of immigration enforcement to do immigration enforcement.
What are you watching for next? President Trump has floated the idea of, after Chicago, he might eyeball New York City as well. What are you watching for?
I'm watching, well, first off, I want to see, are federalized National Guard troops actually going into Chicago? There's been a lot of talk, a lot of discussion. Mayor Johnson indicated that he thought that they were mobilizing or getting ready to roll into the city, so to speak. Obviously, the actions north of the city at the Great Lakes Naval Base has certainly got everybody's attention. But I'm actually what does that look like? How big is it? At some point we start running out of troops. If we got all these troops doing this, at some point, within any given state, you start running low on troops. That's what happened in Washington, D.C., where they had to use the Emergency Mutual Assistance Compact to bring in federalized National Guard troops, or not federalized, but National Guard troops from other states to actually back up Washington, D.C., because they didn't have enough National Guard troops within the city to do what they wanted to do. So I'm kind of curious to see, will there be EMAC stuff going into Illinois? That would, and I can't imagine there would be, because I can't imagine the governor would request other troops to come in from other states under EMAC. So it would have to be some sort of federalized thing. So I'm going to watch for all of that. If there's federalization of more troops and what actually happens in Chicago. Then, of course, is mentioned New York City. There's been a lot of speculation about Minneapolis as a potential site. So we'll see if this goes to, another city. I'm not saying this seems to be focused on just what are politically called blue states.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Chad. I'm not even gonna speak on Chicago. I'm gonna speak on what the hell I know, man. In Arkansas, man, it's a lot of violence going on. If the National Guard get the riding around in Arkansas, they gonna get right. I can't speak for Chicago. I'll let y'all speak for that. But in Arkansas, like let's talk like Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Hot Springs, the 501-870 area where it's a lot of crime, man. Motherfuckers gonna get right. They get the ride in the National Guard, especially blocking through the hood, like man. Because it's going to get right. We're going to switch that game plan up. They're going to switch that game plan up straight up. Especially if they pulling people over. Oh, yeah. I ain't going to lie, Chad. That's crazy.
Or blue cities, that...
but every major city is a blue city. You're talking about large population centers. They tend to be blue-leaning. Doesn't matter what big city you're talking about.
To some extent, yes, but not all. I mean, if you look at there's some very large population centers in southern states that are very much red states. And, for example, I'm not holding my breath to see.
Thank you, Lala, for the super chat. Y'all give Lala some likes on that super chat and be sure to double tap the screen. We're still trying to get to 100 likes. Thank you, OG Pal. You said DC. You said DC National Guard land much, my boy. 385 cubic feet of it. I also saw them picking up trash. Chad. Hold on, baby. I also saw them picking up trash out there, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subs away from the next sub goal.
Go into certain areas that are more politically aligned, if you will, with the White House. But, I think the place they're looking at right now is, they've looked at Chicago, and they've mentioned New York City. And so New York City would be a really interesting one. The terrain alone, and I'm going to use that term, of how they would have to go into New York City to do stuff, very daunting because of the, surface, subsurface, and above surface terrain, the limited lines of communication or road network, the ability to move around New York City. It would be very, very challenging to do something in New York City, and it's going to be challenging to do something in Chicago, like they did in Washington, D.C. It's just geographically, in terms of urban terrain, it's just a different laydown, and I think that's going to be a big issue.
Hal Kemper is the host of the Strap Podcast. As always, Hal, we can listen to the Strap Podcast wherever podcasts are available, but what specifically can people be listening for in the most recent episode?
Well, the most recent episode, which literally came out yesterday,
shout out to them for that clip, man. Look, this the Chicago mayor, man, finna come in and sign his executive order, man. He listen, Chad. He got the desk out there, man. He got the American flag, man. Listen, he finna sit down and sign his executive order, man. His press conference, man. Straight up, Gavin Newsom did his, man. Y'all got everybody over here, man. What's up, Bradley? Y'all got everybody getting their desk, rolling their desk out, having press conferences, man. And who is Unc up here, man? Who let Unc come up here with this olive green two-piece on, Unc, with the top button unbuttoned? Unc, come on, Unc. Who uncle is that, man? Y'all get y'all people, man. Straight up, man. Unc, you sharp as a tack, but this not the time for that, Unc. This not the time for the olive green two-piece with the top button unbuttoned, big dog. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. This wasn't the time for that, man. This was not the time for that, Unc. man, it ain't no way Chicago mayor got some all whites on. Do he got some all white ones on, chat? Nah, he got some Adidas, man. Them some Adidas, some Sonomas. Nah, them some what you call it Adidas. Them the Adidas, the high top Adidas, white with the 3 black stripes with the all black fit, man. Chicago, man, y'all getting too much money out there, man. Y'all gotta get y'all mayor together, man. Go and get your mayor some gator boots, man, or something, man. I'm telling y'all, man. This man doing work for y'all. He's having press conferences, putting his neck out there on the line, man. Y'all gotta get this man together, man.
Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Let me start by saying this. I do not take this executive action lightly. I would have preferred to...
Yeah, Chad, I'm not gonna lie, Chad. Signing an executive order and some Adidas 3 stripes is crazy. Chad, no way, bro. No way, Chad. And let's break this shit down, bro. He signed an executive order, my bro, and he has on some Adidas 3 stripes, man. Straight up, Chad. Straight up. Like, this is crazy, man. Like, he could actually leave here, take the jacket off, and play 21. Run 1-on-1. A game to 7 right quick, man. He got the 3-stripe Adidas high top joints, man. Laced to the tip top, man. Finna sign an executive order in front of the world. Crazy.
Work in a more collaborative approach. I would have preferred to do the work with our allies in City Council to pass legislation ultimately. And
right, Antoine, he should have wore the black forces if anything, man. Even the high top joints, if he would have had the black forces on with the black shades, kind of like Halliburton had after they closed out that game, man, he would have been straight. You said please play the video and then talk. I'm sorry, Dana, I can't do that right now because this is a part of the show where I actually entertain as well. You know, this is an entertainment show, you know, but we will get to the clip for you. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, but I do gotta entertain, man. Come on, man, this will make me different.
We were doing that. We were doing just that. But some of the leaders who we are working with are standing behind me today. But unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of time. We have received credible reports that we have days, not weeks, before our city sees some type of militarized activity by the federal government. It is unclear at this time what that will look like exactly. We may see militarized immigration enforcement. We may also see National Guard troops. We may even see active duty military and armed vehicles in our streets.
I'm trying to turn him up, Chad. He's really low. I don't know. I can't turn him up. I guess it's because he's far away from the microphone, man. Press 1 if you can hear him, though. Press 1 if you can't hear.
Not called for this. Our people have not asked for this. But nevertheless, we find ourselves having to respond to this. Let me be absolutely clear. Although we believe the reports we have received are highly credible, this is an erratic, impulsive administration, and it is not always possible to understand and know exactly how he will move. He could change his mind, he could reverse course. In fact, I encourage him to do that. Still, we take these threats seriously, and we find ourselves in a position where we must take immediate, drastic action to protect our people from federal overreach. I'm signing an executive order today that will launch the Protecting Chicago initiative. This is a project that builds on the months of preparation that we have done, that has led up to this very moment. Protecting Chicago will ensure that every Chicagoan knows their rights, that every single family is prepared, and every part of city government is directed to protect the people of Chicago from federal action. This sweeping executive order directs our Department of Law to pursue any and every legal mechanism to hold this administration accountable for violating the rights of Chicagoans. This order affirms that the Chicago Police Department will not collaborate.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, chat. Depending on how Brandon Johnson handles this situation, his political future could be very, very bright. That's why I'm kind of upset that he wore these damn high top Adidas in here, man. I don't want to keep highlighting it, but damn, he could have a very bright future depending on how he handles this right here, man. Because his name is going to get national headlines because he just came out here and signed his own damn executive order to counter Trump, man. Like, he could have a very bright future depending on how he handles this situation. I don't think he realized how big this press conference was.
Military personnel on police patrols or civil immigration enforcement. We will not have our police officers who are working hard every single day to drive down crime deputized to do traffic stops and checkpoints for the president. This order affirms the CPD officers will be directed to wear CPD uniforms and refrain from wearing masks so that residents can clearly distinguish them from federal agents. And finally, as I said, it establishes the Protecting Chicago Initiative, the most sweeping campaign of any city in the country to protect ourselves from the threats and actions of this out-of-control administration. We will protect our Constitution, we will protect our city, and we will protect our people. We do not want to see tanks in our streets. We do not want to see families ripped apart. We do not want grandmothers thrown into the back of unmarked vans. We don't want to see homeless Chicagoans harassed or disappeared by federal agents. We don't want to see Chicagoans arrested for sitting on their porch.
Gorgeous Angel says, as someone living in a dictatorship, watch out, America. This is giving me serious deja vu. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Call in.
That's not.
No, don't call in if you're in a dictatorship. You might not want to call in.
As a city. And that's not who we are as a nation. My team and I have spoken with the governor, the county president, and with our federal delegation, and we are in complete alignment. The time for action is now. With that, I will sign this executive order and then return for follow-up questions.
I'm going to move the mic right.
Man signed that executive order, didn't he?
We have made it to the afternoon, yes.
Thank you for this. You said months of preparation. Could you just talk about what that's been like trying to get everyone on the same page together?
Yeah, well, look, we're a welcoming city, first of all, so that ordinance has been in place for the last 40 years. We strengthened it under my administration. So the moment that President Trump secured enough electoral votes to become the 47th president, we are...
It's been under like that for the last 4 years under my administration. See, okay, this is how he need to be talking, man. Like he gotta, I'm gonna break down his ability to speak to the public, man. Let's see if this guy has a future, man, at the next level, man. Y'all think he might be governor one day?
About what that's been like trying to get everyone on the same page together.
Yeah, well, look, we're a welcoming city, first of all, so that ordinance has been in place for the last 40 years. We strengthened it under my administration. So the moment that President Trump secured enough electoral votes to become the 47th president, we are fully aware of his animus against working people and particularly immigrant communities. So that preparation was making sure that all of our sister agencies and city departments understood their assignment, and particularly making sure that people know their rights. And so it's been a continuous process all the way up until the time in which I had to testify before the Oversight Committee. And then even well beyond that, we've seen this president trample all over our Constitution. So, we've already filed multiple lawsuits, I believe 40 lawsuits. You just saw that the courts have deemed most of his taxes to benefit the ultra-rich or illegal. So this is not a surprise to us in terms of his erratic and petulant behavior. But this is also about making sure that we are strengthening all of our departments across the board to ensure that we are protecting Chicagoans. That's what this is about.
Double tap the screen, share the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. If this is your first time on my live stream, press 1. If you having a good time in this live stream, press 2, man. Let me see what y'all got going.
Of course, we would have preferred to go through the natural course of the legislative process, and we will continue to do that with our investments. But this is about protecting the people of Chicago.
Can you talk about why you need an executive order to do that? It says not work the city is already doing, informing people of their rights. What does this executive order actually do?
Well, one of the things that it does is it ensures that there's a clear distinction between our local police department and federal agents.
Okay, man. Al, Charlie, welcome in. I hope you subscribe to the channel, man. First timers. Hetty Solstice, hope you subscribe. Brian, Geraldo, hope you subscribe. Welcome in. I'm glad all y'all having a good time. Doreen, welcome in. Hope you subscribe, man. Paula, you too. I'm finna get back to the video. I just like to, give y'all some shout outs, man. Let y'all know that I see y'all, and I appreciate y'all for coming in and rocking with me. Shirley, welcome in. I hope you subscribe.
Gives a very clear directive, but it also gives very specific directives to our law department to make specific FOIA requests so that if there's any immigration enforcement that's happening in our city, we have to know about it. Just back in June 4th, there was an entire operation in our city that the federal government didn't disclose. This is about uncovering the truth. But this is also about making sure that every single legal measure that's available to us, that my law department pursues it. But it's also ensuring...
Thank you, Doreen, for the floating heart. As well, somebody said, what's the point of calling? To have a conversation. I see somebody called me earlier. I missed that call. I don't know what I was doing, but I missed a call earlier, about 30 minutes ago. If y'all want to call back, y'all can call back. OG Pal with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, OG Pal, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for your continued support, OG Pal. Y'all get OG Pal some flames for those 5 gifted memberships. You guys just got access to 250 past live streams plus some cool emojis. We just updated those emojis. I'm gonna get some more Zybags in, and we're gonna do a raffle for one of these hoodies, man. We're gonna do a raffle for one of these plug sack hoodies, man. Y'all with a raffle, press 7 if y'all want a raffle for the plug sack hoodies, man. Press 7 if y'all want a raffle, man.
All of our departments are in lockstep to protect Chicagoans. That's what this is about. This president continues to go well beyond the bounds of the Constitution to the extent in which our democracy is in peril right now. I'm going to do everything in my power as the mayor of this city to protect Chicagoans.
How important do you think it is to be ahead of this before any federal agents are in Chicago to make sure that law enforcement know how to work together. And there's a lot of coordination that happens between those two.
Flakes, I'm the voice of the politically homeless. They call me a centrist. They call me a centrist. I call out both sides for the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, so if you say, is this a pro-Trump channel? Sometimes you come in here and we're congratulating Trump for the things he did. Sometimes you come in here and we on Trump ass for some bullshit. Straight up, that's just how it goes, man. We always have a phone number pinned, and we do let anybody call in. We let anybody call in and state their opinion.
Well, look, you framed it quite well, and quite frankly, the reason why this executive order is so paramount is because even though we know that this president is behaving outside of the bounds of the Constitution, it hasn't stopped him, but it stops in Chicago. And so this is about making a very clear distinction between what our law enforcement engages in versus what federal agents engage in. Because look, we have collaborated before, particularly getting guns off the streets of Chicago, the trafficking of drugs, the trafficking of human beings across this country. You know, we have just had a major breakthrough where guns that were trafficked in from Indiana and Mississippi, we were able.
The call-in number should be pinned at the top. The 512 number, Jimmy. It should be a 512 number pinned at the top of the comments.
Up that and get over 150 guns off the streets of Chicago. That's not what's happening right now. And so this executive order makes it emphatically clear that this president is not going to come in and deputize our police department.
I'm gonna pin the comment. I'm gonna drop the number again. Okay, that's the number to call in. But I just noticed that the guy to the left of the mayor really has on a shirt and it says no human being is illegal. Now, that's a statement, chat. How do y'all feel about this statement that's being made right there? No human being is illegal. That's what they wanted to get out in this press conference, man. Straight up. That's one of the messages they wanted to get out.
I just want to ask, these reports that you're talking about, is this what we've been hearing about in the media? Is this a new report that's been confirmed with the city? Where are you guys hearing this? And when will city residents be informed of what the city knows?
Well, I'm telling you what the city knows, right? And here's what we do know, that the federal government, under the direction of President Donald Trump, is preparing to send an expansive slew of federal agents to the city of Chicago. And whether it's border control, ICE agents, right, this part, which is the most upsetting, is that he has funded the ICE division of the government at a rate that is only second to the...
See, I think he had that shirt buttoned up. I think he had that jacket vest buttoned up till the mayor started taking questions. Then he, you know what I'm saying, like, let me go ahead and make this ultra reveal. Let me make this reveal. I'm going to go back to the beginning. We're going to see if he had that jacket buttoned up at first, and then we're going to see if he unbuttoned it.
The United States government and the Chinese military. And that's dangerous, right? And so we are hearing that he plans to send these individuals to the city of Chicago this week as early as Friday. But let's be very clear what his ultimate goals are.
Friday?
He wants to send in federal troops. Make no mistake about it. He wants to send in the National Guard. He is looking to provocate, to justify.
Oh, they're trying to do it this week? He's saying that he's getting reports that Trump want to send damn National Guard there this week. I told y'all every day I wake up, it's some new headline and something else going. Y'all think Trump won't say he did an insurrection and send their ass over there, man? Crazy.
The fact of the matter is, it's disrespectful to law enforcement. Our police department has worked incredibly hard to drive down violence in the city of Chicago. This is not about violence reduction, because if it were, he would be making investments. And I can tell you what those investments have done thus far. 32% reduction in homicides. Shootings are down almost 40%. Shooting victims are down almost 40%. So this is about the militarization of cities. And in the city of Chicago, we're going to be very clear about our position to protect democracy, to protect Chicagoans, to protect our people.
What recourse or enforcement will happen if federal agents are to break the rule on no mask or serve a badge number? Will you sue?
We will use every single tool that is at our disposal, and that includes the courts. It's an area in which at least there's some semblance of check and balance in this country. Look, he's tried to sue cities like mine, and he lost, particularly around trying to withhold federal dollars because we are a welcoming city. And so, yes, we will use the courts.
See, he don't want to say sanctuary. He wasn't gonna say sanctuary city. That's good verbiage right there as a speaker. I told you I was gonna be breaking down, you know what I'm saying, the way he's speaking to the public. He chose that word. You see, he thought about it. He was like, because we are a welcoming city. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say as early as Friday, like 6 days?
Yes, these are a matter of days. We don't have weeks to, we're talking about days. And so this is about making sure that we are prepared, that there's a real clear guidance, and that there are absolute directives coming from my office to all of our city departments and sister agencies and to all of Chicagoans of how we can stand up against this tyranny.
Yes, Mayor, the credible reports that your administration is getting, does that include any specific details as to how many federal agents, how many troops, how many armored vehicles? What is like the blueprint? Are they going to have checkpoints, or how's that going to look like?
Well, we don't have those specifics, but what we can go off of what he has done in Los Angeles, and I've been in conversation with Mayor Bass. That's the benefit of this particular moment, that we have been in communications with mayors across this country, sharing what their experiences have been. And so what his ultimate desire is to come into our city, to break the Constitution, and to break our democracy, and to break our city. And Chicago is going to remain firm in our position. We're going to be prepared for anything and everything. And the best level of preparation is to make sure that people know their rights, and that all of our city departments and sister agencies know exactly what I expect of them in the event the federal government works outside the bounds of the Constitution.
And has your office made any attempts to reach out to the White House?
There is no secret of what I want from the federal government. There's no secret. In fact, he ignores it. $800 million that he took from cities like Chicago for violence prevention. What a slap in the face.
He want that paper.
People who serve this city to try to override local authority. We've said fund our education system, invest in affordable housing, ensure that we are collaborating to get guns off the streets of Chicago. We're stopping guns being trafficked in from states that voted for him. And so now we do all of this hard work, this group assignment in the city of Chicago, and he wants to come at the end of the year before the assignment is due to try to put his name on the paper. He is reckless and out of control. He is the biggest threat to our democracy that we've experienced in the history of our country.
All right, Chad, I think he's about ready to end on that. So I'm going to ask you guys before we get into the press conference he had just prior to this, maybe a couple of days prior to this. Do y'all think Trump is the biggest threat to our democracy ever? Press 1 if you think Trump is the biggest threat to the democracy. Press 2 if you do not think Trump is the biggest threat to democracy. That's a bold statement coming from Chicago's mayor. That is a very bold statement.
Mixed reaction. He's not here. I was going to read a little bit, tweeting out early this morning. In order, not work, the paper is printed on. In reality, how effective do you think this order is going to be? Because these are federal agents we're talking about. They're taking orders from the federal government, not from the city of Chicago.
Yeah, and I don't take orders from the federal government. Thank you all very much.
He said, I don't take orders from the federal government, so we're finna go and hear from the guy he does take orders from. Let's hear from the guy that he does take orders from.
Governor, what about Bishop cash bail.
Legal authority. Take any questions from members of the media. Marianne.
Yes, Governor, has the legal have the authority to send troops here?
Well, that's going to be litigated. Does Donald Trump have the legal authority? It's unconstitutional. It's against the law. We talked about posse comitatus. There is no reason why American military can be or should be in American cities when there is not an insurrection. They are required, members of the Illinois National Guard are members of the military. And when they are called up according to Title 10 by the President of the United States, they are required to follow orders, just as they are when the governor calls them up under Title 32. Well, that's got to be determined. I exactly agree with the point that you're making. Yes. I'm sorry.
Are you planning a preemptive lawsuit for Josh or will you wait till it's
Maybe I can ask the Attorney General to talk about his role.
We don't know exactly the exact circumstances in which the deployment would take place. So a preemptive lawsuit couldn't be targeted to a specific targeting of the military. So we don't anticipate that, but we don't rule it out.
Governor, Mayor, Adams County Sheriff's Office publicly said that they won't comply with almost individual.
I don't have a comment on that right now. Thank you.
Mayor Johnson.
No comment on that right now.
Governor Johnson, can you speak to the people of Chicago who are worried about going to work?
See, now that suit clean as hell. You see how when he went up there with the governor outside with the people, he got on that James Bond suit, man. What James Bond was there where he had on the gray suit, man, with the gray, was that a Benz, man? What James Bond was there where he had on the gray suit, man? Was that the casino one? I don't remember, Chad. What James Bond was there where he had on the gray suit, man? Now, this suit right here, man, this is what he need to put on, man. He put that shit on right here. I bet he ain't got them high top ass Adidas on with this suit, man. Come on, man. That's how you put that. And the tie is nice, too, man. Like, come on. That's how you put that shit on. Brandon, man.
You know, thank you for that question. The way we address the fear is that we stand firm together. That's why you have this full display today. That we are going to have the backs of working people across this city. And that any attempt to intimidate our people from being able to live their lives, that is the quintessential example of terrorism. And we will not bend, break, or bow to that type of tyranny. So we're going to continue to make sure that the people of Chicago know their rights, and business, philanthropic, labor, elected leaders, faith leaders. We're all going to put our arms around every single resident of this city to ensure that our way of life is not disrupted.
Governor, would you mind speaking a little bit more? Could you talk a little bit about, there are a lot of speakers who said it's
Whoever OG is in the back right here looking confused as hell. He trying to, I don't know, man. He trying to get a read on somebody. Look, she looking around like, damn, I don't know why they got her way in the back, man.
What happens if the Trump administration pauses?
What it do, H-Time?
Well, I think they'll hear exactly what I said today about whether we want them in the city of Chicago. We do not want troops on the streets of the city of Chicago. Let me be clear. And if he calls me, I will tell him that directly.
Can you speak a little more pointedly about your messaging to staff at the White House that we are watching closely, we are taking names? What does that mean?
It simply means that people who are breaking the law, who are acting in unconstitutional fashion, will be held accountable. Must be held accountable. Yes.
That's what it is, XX. It was Skyfall. He had the gray suit on, the James Bond suit on, and Skyfall, chat. I'm finna show y'all that James Bond suit. I'm finna show y'all that suit, man. This the kind of suit that I wanted, man. me see, man. Yeah, it's that James Bond motherfucker, man. It's that one right here, chat. It's the one. I'm not gonna lie, chat. When I was getting ready to go to prom, I wanted one of these James Bond suits, man. I wanted one of these James Bond suits, man, when I was getting ready to go to prom, chat. Hold on. This one right here, man. Yeah, chat. This was the one, man. James Bond had that motherfucker on, didn't he, chat? James Bond had it on, didn't he, chat? Alright, let me get back to the video, man. My bad. I had to show y'all that. Yeah, he came out there. You know what I'm saying? James Bond knew how to put that shit on.
And that any look, every single person that is the victim of violence in any city across the entire United States is worthy of our sympathy and also worthy of having law enforcement go after the perpetrators. That is what we do in the city of Chicago. That is what we do in the state of Illinois. We will not give up on that. We will stand up for the people of the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago by following the law. I can speak for Chicagoans. Look, Chicagoans are not asking for a militarized force to occupy our city. They're not asking for that. I can tell you what Chicagoans are asking for. They want us to build more affordable housing. They want us to...
Yeah, Chad, I gotta have a long tie. I couldn't do the bow tie quiet one. I gotta have a long tie. Like if I did the bow tie, it would have to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Yeah, I would just have to do the long tie.
More young people. They want us to ensure that we're creating mental and behavioral health care services. And do you know how I know that's what they want? It's because that's what's working.
Thank you, Big Niece, for the super chat. Y'all give Big Niece some likes on that super chat, man, and some flames in the comments. Thank you, Big Niece, for your continued support.
There's a 32% reduction in homicides. That's not an easy feat to accomplish. And we're doing that collectively. Chicagoans, here's what Chicagoans want. We want a reimbursement from our tax dollars that we send to the federal government, to send it right back to the city of Chicago to ensure that we build safe and affordable communities. That's exactly what they want. Go ahead. Look, as we've said before, protecting our First Amendment is the top priority of our democracy. And so, of course, we want people to raise and elevate their voices, but they have to do it in a very...
Hey guys, double tap the screen, shut a live out. We're 28 subscribers away from that 30,800. Let's get to the 30,800 on this live stream. Y'all know I'm gonna come back for a nighttime live stream. Y'all know how we doing, man. I took a day off and now y'all don't want to subscribe to the channel, share the live out, man. Y'all want to be gatekeepers. It's crazy, man. Trump went missing for a day. Everybody said he was dead. I went missing for a day. Nobody gave a fuck, man. Damn.
Let me be very clear here. The Trump administration, they are trying to incite and provoke violence. And so that's why you're seeing a very coordinated, disciplined response in this moment. Look, there's no secret that the city of Chicago has been on the front line fighting for justice, not just for Chicago, but for folks across this country. This is the city that said, keep hope alive. This is the city that birthed, yes, we can. And so we know how to resist, we know how to raise our voices, we know how to do that in a constitutional way, and that's what we're calling for. Thank you.
Is the protocol for Chicago police or federal government?
This is for Mayor Johnson. So, one night, sending the 101st Airborne to get the Arkansas National Guard out of the way of allowing black students to get an education at Little Rock Central High School. There are certain Chicagoans who feel that Trump's representing Chicago.
People asking for troops right now. Essence, a lot of people is asking for troops in Chicago. Chicago's divided. A lot of people don't want the troops, but a lot of people who may not be Chicago natives, but they may have moved to Chicago or whatever, they are really calling for the National Guard. A lot of the DC residents are speaking out too, saying that they glad the National Guard is there. A lot of DC residents, specifically black ones, we've been seeing coming out making videos saying that they love that the National Guard is out there.
Theatrical politics out of the way of making them feel safe in Chicago. So what do you have to offer besides rosy statistics that don't jive with the statistics by police?
There is not an emergency in the city of Chicago. There is nothing that calls for having troops on the streets of the city of Chicago. We have crime like other cities do. But let's be clear, we are actually in better shape than the 30 biggest cities across the United States. We're in better shape on average, and it is important to recognize that the...
Thank you, Cypher. Thank you, Cypher, for your continued support, man. Y'all get Cypher some likes on that super chat and some flames in the comments, man. He asked y'all to get the likes up, man. If y'all double tap the screen, man, I'm telling y'all, man, we on the way to 100K, man. Y'all just can't keep the channel, man. Rock out with me, man, like I rock out with y'all, man. Come on, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Appreciate your continued support, Cypher.
The United States is doing this for theatrics. This is not because we've asked for it. It is not because there is some justice that he is going to seek. It is because he wants to create chaos. That is all this is about.
So there's no preemptive lawsuit.
I'm sorry, I need to call on somebody new. Yeah.
So there'll be no preemptive lawsuit, but is there anything else you can do legally to try to prevent troops from arriving?
Well, one thing that we're trying to make clear to the entire United States is that this is a great city. Look at how beautiful this city is. This city is moving in the right direction on crime. That we have been, in fact, over the last 4 years, we have seen homicides drop in half. And that is something that the President of the United States should pay attention to. I know he doesn't read. I know he doesn't listen to very many people, but I know he watches television. And so perhaps if somebody from Fox News or from Newsmax is here, they'll cover the fact that Chicago is in much better shape as a result of the work that we are doing to prevent crime, to interrupt crime, to reduce crime, to increase the number of police. Our state police are up during my time in office. I want the president to understand that we do not want troops on the ground in the city of Chicago. Neither do the people of Chicago or the people of the state. Yes, ma'am.
What type of police encounters would National Guard have if they were to come to the city, and what's the protocol for Chicago police?
Well, the Chicago Police Department has its job to do. The troops, if they are federalized, will be limited by what federal troops can do. So those are the rules. They're not supposed to be doing crime fighting. They're not supposed to be involved in anything other than what federal troops are supposed to do. They can guard federal buildings. They can do the work of, as called upon to, perhaps sit outside the city of Chicago, but not to fight crime in the city of Chicago. That is not what they're supposed to be doing. Yes, Jason, sorry.
Johnson, will the Chicago Police Department be directed not to cooperate or coordinate any sort of events that the National Guard are controlling?
So the police department is under the direction of my leadership, my Superintendent Snelling. We have our own autonomy in terms of how we protect this city. As the governor has articulated, federal troops are not police officers. They don't have that authority or that power. So the very thing in which the president is claiming he wants them to do, they don't have the authority to do that. Look, here's the other thing that's important. Our local law enforcement cooperates with federal agents on a host of things, one of which is getting illegal guns off the streets of Chicago. Just a couple of weeks ago, we seized over 150 guns that were trafficked in from Mississippi and Indiana. That's the type of coordination that we have to continue to do to drive safe and affordable neighborhoods. Thank you all very much.
Governor, what about the issue of cash bail?
Sure. I'm sorry. I know you were looking to ask a question.
Sorry, I just want to make sure that I have the communications correct. So no one from the federal government has reached out to your office, and it sounds like the same for you, Mayor Johnson. Has anyone from either of your staffs reached out to the White House, and is no one calling each other? Have they reached out? Haven't been able to make contact?
If we needed them to call in troops, or we needed to have the National Guard federalized, we would call them. We are not calling them. We do not need that.
Mayor, what instruction would you give?
This is going to be the last question.
What instruction would you give to Chicago police if federal troops go on the streets of Chicago? Will you ask them to respond?
Well, look, we're going to use every single tool at our disposal. Here's the most important thing to note today, is that you have complete alignment across the entire city of Chicago, that the city of Chicago firmly rejects militarized forces occupying our city. It is uncoordinated, uncalled for, and unsound. The best way to build safe and affordable communities, not just in Chicago but across this country, is to invest in them. The safest cities in America invest in people, and that's exactly what we're doing. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
So that was the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois at their press conference. They're expecting Trump to send in the National Guard this week. They're expecting Trump to send in the National Guard this week. We finna slide over to Missouri. Missouri has joined the national gerrymandering, I guess whatever you want to call it, the national gerrymandering session, man. Everybody's gerrymandering from Texas to California. Now Missouri governor has called for a special session so they can get their new electoral maps into law.
Of Missouri today, Mike Kehoe also with a message saying he too wants to redraw his state's congressional map. Let's listen.
Missouri's conservative common sense values rooted in faith, family, and freedom should be truly represented at all levels of government, local, state, and federal. Because representation isn't just about districts and lines on one map. And our Constitution shouldn't be the victim of out-of-state special interests who spend millions to deceive voters and pass out-of-touch policies. It's the responsibility of the state legislature to ensure that values of Missouri families and communities are represented in Washington, D.C. and in our state. In Missouri, Republicans hold over 90% of local county offices and have held every statewide seat. I have been reminded time and time again, through both good times and bad times, Missourians are more alike than we are different. And our Missouri values across both sides of the aisle are closer to each other than those of the extreme left representation of New York, California, and even as close as Illinois. That's why today I'm calling for a special session on congressional redistricting and initiative petition reform to ensure our districts and Constitution truly reflect Missouri values and put Missourians' priorities first. I appreciate President Donald Trump for raising the level of conversation on this matter because his leadership on this nationally underscores just how important this moment is for Missouri. So beginning Wednesday, September 3rd, the Missouri legislature will reconvene in Jefferson City. And today, I'm prepared to show you what we believe that map looks like. This is the Missouri First map. This map was drawn here, made here, for here, by our team. It splits fewer counties and municipalities than the current version while preserving 2 congressional districts as they currently stand. And it retains each member of Missouri's current congressional delegation in their current districts. Again, no existing member will be displaced. They will all still live in their current district. It's simpler, cleaner, stronger. After a lot of thought, prayer, and conversation, I want to assure you that this is not a decision I've made lightly. I hope the legislature will work together to pass this map and critically needed IP reform to stay true to our Missouri First values. This is about clarity for voters and ownership of our future. And with the Missouri First map, we can deliver. Thank you, and God bless.
crazy. Chat, I told y'all, man. Thank you, Yosemite, for the super chat. Y'all give Yosemite some likes on that super chat, man, and some flames in the comments, man. That's Missouri, Prada. That's Missouri's governor. That was Missouri's governor calling for that special session. That was Missouri's governor calling for that special session to redraw the maps, man. We seen, like, ever since the Supreme Court said in 2019 that their hands are tied, that they was done with it. It's been ramping up, man. This is crazy.
All right, so like I said, and this has been said many times, the redistricting arms race is on between blue states and red states here. Well, Trump weighing in on Missouri's decision here. Take a look at this on Truth Social. Trump saying, great Governor Mike Kehoe of the wonderful state of Missouri, which I love and won 6 times, including with 1.8 million votes in 2024. He says by far the most votes in history, just called a very special session to begin passage of a new, much fairer, and much improved congressional map that will give the incredible people of Missouri the tremendous opportunity to elect an additional MAGA Republican in the 2026 midterm elections. He says a huge victory for our America First agenda, not just in the Show Me State, but across the nation.
Democracy Watch, Mark, we have some bombshell news here as it relates to a court shakeup in a state Supreme Court. Can you explain what that news is?
Yeah, this is really big news. One of the most conservative justices on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, and I don't just mean ideologically conservative, but I mean like conservative.
All right, chat. I didn't know that kept going. We'll save them other clips for tonight. I do want to appreciate everybody for pulling up, rocking with me. I'm gonna go spend some time with my kids, man. Get them together and get prepared for tonight's show. I'm gonna go get my kids together, get prepared for tonight's show. I hope y'all had a good time, man. Be sure to share this video out far and wide. Double tap the screen on your way out. I thank each and every one of y'all for supporting me and just showing up, man. Thank you for all the donations, and I'll see y'all on the next one, chat.